Hello and welcome back to Devlog here at Download Festival 2024, and I am here with, would you like to tell them your name?
Alex from Make Them Suffer.
Alex from Make Them Suffer, one of my favourite of the bands that I've heard in the recent times. What I'm loving about your band so much is, like, obviously we hear a lot of these core bands all the time, but you guys, you've got like something, a new fresh take on it, and I don't know if it's the interplay between the vocals is a large part of it, and it really captures my imagination because it's so refreshing to hear someone doing what I think is the definitive version of that sound.
That's awesome.
So yeah,
thank you.
Yeah, but how long have you guys been going? You've got an album out before, but I came aware of you with Doom Switch.
Really?
Doom Switch was the one.
Okay, yeah.
So I'm a latecomer.
That's awesome. Oh, that's fantastic to hear because I guess Make Them Suffer has been going for like longer than 10 years. I think it's like 15 years.
Right.
It's actually a really long time, but I've only been a part of the band for almost 2 years.
Right.
So I'm brand new. There's been a long legacy of amazing women before me on like keys and vocals.
Sure.
But I'm happy to hear that we're still bringing in new, especially when you come into a band that's got a rich history, especially like in deathcore, metalcore. They had a really solid fan base from a few albums back. So to hear that we're still growing new people that like the sound and see it as like modern, and you know, we have conversations sometimes of like, if we've been a band prior to me, you know, for so long, are we washed up, or you know, what's the perception? But to come across as contemporary and fresh is really good feedback.
I think it's brand new to me because it was a buddy of mine just brought it round and said,
so
"Have you heard this? It's like Doom Switch," and I like to think I'm on the cutting edge. So thank you very much, Tommy. And then I heard Doom Switch, and then you followed it up with the next two singles, and I'm like, this is going to be a hell of an album when this arrives. So is that what's arriving?
I don't know if I'm allowed to say.
Right.
I think
there is more music.
Look, I mean, we've hinted, the signs are there, the clues are there, so I'm not giving too much away, but obviously it's on the way.
Absolutely.
You know, things are falling into place, they're ready to go.
Right.
And it's really hard when you're in your own music to hear it and go, we think this is the best, or we think this is, but we've got high hopes.
Yeah.
I mean, and I was a fan of Make Them Suffer before joining, so I've only been apart for 2 years. So
that's
I feel
cool
like
thing.
I still can listen maybe objectively in a way, and I think it doesn't sound like anyone.
Yes.
I think that's something I can say about Make Them Suffer.
That is it.
I don't think we sound like anyone else, and especially like Sean's, the way he does his vocals and his phrasing and mixed riffs, and then, you know, we do have the dual vocals as well, so I think we're pretty different. And,
I do think that you've got something, and it's the interplay with the verse and the chorus. Now, but it's like those keys really sort of lift it.
Yeah.
It's like when you hear, like, especially on like Ghost of You, where it's Ghost of Me.
Ghost of Me.
Ghost of Me, Ghost of You, someone else. Ghost of Me. When those sort of like pianos sort of lilt in, and it's like, and it takes it to a different place, and it shows a breadth of imagination that seems to be lacking in the scene slightly. Sometimes, you know, where it's just like, we'll just do like screamy verse, song, chorus. Yeah, it's like you're just going like, we'll just do what makes it interesting.
Yeah.
Is that the intention?
Yeah, you know, I actually don't do any of the writing in Make Them Suffer.
Right.
The two real creative geniuses of the band are Nick and Sean.
Sure.
So I'm kind of at the mercy of their genius, but in a way I think sometimes it's best when you've got two people with a solid vision, you don't really need everyone's input. And when I came into the band, I expected that keys would be my main focus, and it still is.
Yeah.
But I didn't expect to be given a role with Sean. I didn't expect to be identified as Sean and Alex back forth. I didn't know I was going to do any screaming.
Right.
I used to be in a band previously, and I was the front woman, and I used to scream. But I came in thinking, you know, I'm following the legacy of the beautiful women before me, and I'll do some mainly keys, a bit of singing, and then Sean, when we came to record Dibs, which he was like, "They're your screens."
Yeah.
I was like, what do you mean?
And they make it.
I know. I'm honoured to be a part of that, and I didn't expect people would find it so fascinating that we go back and forth. So
It's such a good juxtaposition though, because you hear his scream and then you hear a female scream, and it's like, because it's normally like, you know, it would be a melodic part, but it's like when you're actually playing off, it sounds like you're having a row, which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
I mean, and Ghost of Me is a kind of row, isn't it? If I'm reading into the lyrics right, isn't it? I don't know. Maybe that's what I'm taking away from the lyrics.
I think I'm so funny. I don't like pay attention to lyrics of any bands.
Right.
Sean really cares about lyrics, and he puts a lot of thought into
Right.
it. He'll be like, "This is what they're going to think when they hear it," whereas I'm like, "It's just a noise. Like, it's just for me, it's more of a vibe. You know, it's an energy." So I don't think too much about it, but it definitely feels. I don't know. Like you can feel the synergy between us. Like,
Yes.
Going at it in the song for sure. Yeah.
And I saw, is it in Australia you were spotting Bring Me the Horizon?
That's right.
Yeah, that must have been a hell of a billing.
It was psycho. So we had an Australian act called Dane opening. We played, and then Sleep Token.
And then Sleep Token
So
as well,
it was insane.
Yeah.
Every show was wildly sold out.
I mean, that's cutting edge as it gets, isn't
big
it?
arenas. It's the first, and it was the level we had to rise to. I thought we were going to be really nervous, and we all thought we'd be nervous playing that scale in Australia. We've never played. We've done a tour with Halfway Drive around America. We've done some amphitheatres and some arenas and things like that, but not in Australia.
Yeah.
And so I think we all thought, like, we're going to be really scared, but it just felt so good. It was the best tour. Like, and Bring Me the Horizon. Well, we're all fans from day one.
Yeah.
I mean, found them on MySpace, So, and and we got to meet them, and so you're talking to them, and you're like, is this real?
Yeah, right.
This is sick. Because they really are that level of rock star, we're still in the heavy genre, but you see them perform and they're rock stars.
And I think it's because people are so invested in their story, because they've watched this story in public.
Yeah.
Where they've gone from like deathcore, up to this pop phenomenon that they are now. And I say pop in the best possible terms, because it is popular music, and I just think they're visionaries.
Oh yeah, absolutely. They set the precedent for the scene that we can go outside of the heavy genre into the mainstream, win awards. There's no limit. I think they set the precedent for that.
Absolutely, and it must be an and especially with Sleep Token on the bill too. They're two of our best exports, so that must have been a hell of a time.
It was awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Did you take anything away from the tour, like into the songwriting process or any inspiration?
I think production.
Yeah.
Production is relatively new, I feel, in the heavy scene in the band. Maybe we never thought we could bring energy through production. It was like you've got to punch up on stage and mosh and crowd surf. That's the energy.
Yeah.
And then in the last few years, bands are like, we can bring visual elements, we can bring pyro, we can bring a narrative through other elements to bring the production to the next level. So we walked away from that being like, the sky's the limit. Like, we can do this, we can do that. So
that's awesome.
A few tricks up our sleeve for when next time we come back to Australia and we do our own headline tour. So.
Well, I've been looking forward to seeing you guys since I first heard Doom Switch. I know I'm a late comer.
No, that's awesome.
So I'm so looking forward to your set today. How does it feel to be here at Donington? This is
sick. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, this is the biggest festival where I think we've ever played.
Yeah.
And I love a short set.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of short, get it done, no breaks,
Lean
just
mean.
punch in the face. So, we've got a short set. We've just been on tour for 6 weeks, 7 weeks around America. We're ready to go.
Excellent.
We're ready to just kill it and then watch some other bands and party. So,
And I'm so here for it.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you so much.
And have an amazing gig.
Thank you.
Cheers.